There we go.
All right. Well, welcome back. We were asked after our first video, the preview to the season, if we would be willing to do kind of a mid-season review and talk about the league and how it's going and whatnot. So that's happening tonight. Hopefully we get this uploaded and you guys can get a chance to see it here pretty quick. As far as our league is concerned, Jack's kind of running away with the regular season title.
Yeah, really good team for sure. I think only one loss so far, which is super impressive.
Yeah, and he's had a good team all along from day one. Not very active. He's hard to trade with sometimes.
Yeah.
But certainly appears to know what's going on when it comes to the players he does trade or the players he picks up via draft. Everything else seems kind of regular, I guess. I see a huge battle for the last playoff spot. And what did we say? We had 4 weeks left?
I think 5 till fantasy playoffs.
5 more regular season weeks. We just finished week 9. So there's still a full third of the season left here, a little bit more, I guess, technically. But a lot of time, 2 wins a week. You can rack them up pretty quick if you get on a roll. But right now, 6th place is Priest at 9-9. 7th is Papa Ray Ray, who's had a nice comeback. I was gonna say big shout out to Papa Ray Ray. I think he's been the biggest jump so far from like draft slot to regular season record, going from the first pick to just outside the playoffs as things stand right now. Pretty impressive. Yeah. So from 12 to 7 basically so far in the standings. Paul's had a nice run here. He's won a few in a row. He is in 8th technically, tied same record with Travis, who's had a couple of big wins. Struggled here the last couple of weeks, but still 7 and 11 are those two. So almost everybody's still in the hunt if they want to be for the playoff spot. And I've always thought all you got to do is get to the playoffs, and then it's just a 1-week tournament, right? I mean, you got to win that week. So as a league, that's where we stand. It's been very competitive. I hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a lot of fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I always like fantasy football. I thought we would go over a couple of our maybe preseason thoughts just to see how that's worked out. Specifically with just a couple of players. The one that stands out the most to me that I thought was going to be a locked and loaded, for sure, top 10 receiver, top 5 maybe, did not seem out of the realm of possibility and has just been not that. And that's BTJ, who's on your team in this league. To tell you how much I thought this guy was the real deal, I drafted him first in a redraft league. Some of you guys are in that redraft league with me, with an 8 spot. So at 1.8, I drafted BTJ and passed on the Sun God, who's one of my favorite players. Huge mistake. Did not value BTJ or Sun God appropriately with that move. What is he just gonna flounder the rest of the season, or what's gonna happen?
Hard to say. I think he's really good, but that's probably because he's on my team, so I might be a little biased.
He should be good. I don't know if it's a Trevor Lawrence problem.
Could be. That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe. On the upside, though, this guy has not been as advertised for several years. Very good NFL quarterback, has not been a fantasy darling, again, for several years. But this year he's number 1.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's on a tear. He's playing really well, putting up a lot of fantasy points, which is it's nice to see again.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's nice when the good players are also good fantasy players, and it doesn't hurt getting Rashee Rice back. Another receiver that I thought was primed and ready to roll this year, maybe not top 5 or maybe not even top 10, but was going to be an every week play. who I also took in the redraft league in like round 4 or something like that. Jamison Williams. J-Mo, you're letting me down. You're letting me down. I know you had a touchdown last week, which makes your points look okay, but wow. On an offense that's that good, you would think that the number 2 receiver would be of greater value.
Yeah, it's weird to see him almost less involved than he was last year. At least that's how it feels. And they don't really have any new pieces, so I'm not sure what happened there. But
I'm not either. He kind of had a hot run at the end of the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, wow, this, and they signed him. They extended him. They signed him to a new contract.
Yep.
I thought, this is the runway. Here we go. He's going to be hot. Not yet. He's still young. Who knows what happens? But another player on the upside, finally one that is on my team that I could not have given away last year or preseason or maybe even in the first week or two. An injury helped, but Jalen Waddle has been very good this season on an incredibly dysfunctional Miami Dolphins team.
Yeah, I think what's making him really good right now, I mean, besides being a talented player, is the same thing that's helping Achane out a lot, which is just a lot of volume. It's kind of those two on that offense and nobody else, and so that's making them both very productive. So yeah,
it's a funny thing though, because usually to get a lot of volume, you got to be on a good offense. 3 and outs don't create a lot of volume. Somehow they're getting it done. Achane's a super stud.
Yeah, H.N. looks really, really good.
Yeah. And then just shout out to the Colts.
Oh, man.
Almost out of nowhere. It feels like it's out of nowhere. I've always liked their coach. I think he's a good coach. But I did not see this coming. Daniel Jones, thank you. I've said for years I have no idea if he's any good or not because he's throwing passes while looking out his ear hole when he's with the Giants. So I'm glad for him. Oh, yeah. He's on your team. Yep, that's nice. Obviously, JT's having a career year.
Oh, man.
Which is big because he was already great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like he's headed for his number one running back overall fantasy finish of his career, which is tough to do.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul. He's on Paul's team. That's just a good offense.
Yeah.
And a good team. And they have a good defense. But they're a little bit like the Rams. They don't let up. If they get ahead of you, they're not throttling down. Trying. I mean, they just keep going. So that's a good team to have some pieces on.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I wanted to talk about was the auto sub. I've seen a couple of people get stuck putting people in their lineups that are then determined to be out. So you get a goose egg. You get 0 points for that position. Auto sub is super easy. You have to do it on your phone. I assume this will get fixed eventually, but you can't go to the website. But if you're on your phone, you go to your team page. I don't know if you can see this. Here's my team. You can, whatever spot you need an auto sub for. So if you have someone who's questionable, so I'll just go down to, here's a flex guy. I click on the position. It gives me every place I can put him, all the bench spots, if I want to swap him out. But at the very end, it says set an auto sub on the very bottom. You click on that icon, boom, and then all the people that are eligible to be subbed in for that player, if he's determined pre-kickoff, if it's determined that he is out, you can set this player as their auto sub. So the first guy that came up, Will Shipley, boom, I click on that. You have players up. Sorry, I have an IR slot. But he would automatically go in as the auto sub, and you don't have to do anything else. If your starter is determined to be out before the kickoff, not he gets hurt in the first quarter or something, but if it's before the kickoff, that auto sub's points will automatically count, and you don't get stuck with a goose egg. So you don't have to sit there 5 minutes before every kickoff to see if your guys are in or not. You don't need, the player doesn't even have to be questionable to add an auto sub. You can add it for every player if you want. So if there's any question at all, you should be setting auto subs so you don't get that automatic goose egg. Zeros are harmful.
Yeah, bad for your score.
Yes, they are. All right, and then one last thing just to wrap this up. I think Dalton and I are probably have the most trades in our league since we started. We're certainly, I think, the most active in the trade space. So I wanted to ask Dalton what his process is. How does he get a trade started? How does he reach out to somebody? What is he looking for? How does that all work? And then I'll throw my 2 cents in as well. But how do you do it?
I mean, for me, it's pretty simple. It's just a lot of trade offers. I mean, kind of a shotgun approach. The more you offer, the more you'll probably get responses on. So I'd say that's the main thing, is just kind of identifying players that I want and then sending out offers for them. I'd say kind of the second main thing, just to help with getting a response to any trade offer, is to put something up that's actually fair. I think a lot of people kind of take like the what's the word, where you like bargain. There's like a specific word for that, I feel like.
I don't know. Bargain's a good word.
Bargain is a good word.
Haggle.
Haggle. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I feel like a lot of people kind of have the mentality that trades are like a haggle, which they kind of are in a sense, but I think that kind of sometimes leads people to, on a first offer, submit one that's like highly in their favor and then expect it to get like haggled back and forth.
To get a counter proposal.
Right, because it's like nobody ever wants to get taken advantage of, You don't want to like send in a trade and then it gets accepted right away and then you're like, oh man, was that bad for me? But for me, I find that normally just like slows things down. A lot of times it results in like just not getting a response at all. So if you do want to, make some trades and you want to send like more trade offers out there, I'd recommend with just starting off with something that you consider actually fair. I think that's really helpful. I think it helps get trades done faster and just done in general. So that's kind of the only two things I really do is I send out a lot of offers and I try to make sure that all of them are pretty reasonable from my perspective.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is I never try to win the trade, right? You always hear, hey, who wins in this trade scenario? I gave up this and I got this. Every trade is different and every trade has context. Sometimes you're giving away an RB1, but you get 2 wide receivers and you were short on receivers and really healthy in the RB room. Everything is different. So I'm not trying to win a trade. So when I do a trade proposal, what I do almost every week is I go to the trade screen. I find it easier to do it on the site. But I go there and I have in mind what I'm looking for. Maybe I feel like I need a receiver or I need a running back. Those are the 2 most prominent ones, right? Let's say I feel like I need a receiver. So I look at everybody's roster and I'm trying to identify what receiver do I want? What would fit? Probably not looking for a Jamar Chase, right? I mean, that's just awfully expensive.
Right.
And he's on a team that's already in the playoffs, or right now sitting in the playoffs. So, yeah. So I'm looking for the receiver that fits. Then I want to know what I'm willing to give up. Do I have extra running backs? Do I have a quarterback or a tight end that I'm probably not playing, but it has some value? Does the team that I've identified that has the receiver I'm looking for, do they have a need that matches what I'm willing to give up? If so, that's where I start the trade proposal. I'll click on those guys. Do I think it's fair or not? If it's edged one way or the other, I'll add a draft pick or some whatever,
For sure.
Again, to try to make it even where we both win. I'm not trying to get a win-loss. I'm trying to get 2 wins. And I send it out. And to me, every trade proposal I send out is a start of a conversation. If they don't like it, I would love for them to come back with a counter or, hey, I'm not really in the trade market right now, or this guy's just going to be way more expensive, like you're not close or something. And to that point, again, one of our rules in the league, please respond to trade offers within 24 hours. If you haven't already, turn the notifications on so that you get dinged whenever someone sends you a trade proposal or whenever there's activity. Sometimes people are dropping players that still have value and maybe fit your team better than the one that just got dropped. So turn the notifications on, respond to the trade offers. Anything else on that?
No. I think that's it.
Trades are fun. I can guarantee you trades are fun. For me, there's almost always a little heartache as soon as I hit it, right? And I'm like, oh, did I screw it up? And I did screw one up earlier this year, and it cost me a bundle to get it, not fixed, but to get the guy back that I should have never let go. Cost me way too much, but live and learn. So anyways, that's our quick recap, where we are sort of mid-season-ish, 2/3 of the way through the season. Looking like it's going to come down to the final couple weeks, and then we're going to have a strong playoff push again. Good luck to everybody.
Well, one more thing I did want to ask is when the NFL trade deadline just passed, but when is our trade deadline?
3 weeks, I think.
From yesterday?
I'd have to look it up. But you can go to the league settings and look it up. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, sure, if you want.
Oh, boy. Put me on the spot here. All right, here we are. General settings. Is that going to be it? Notification. Yeah, I think so. I did just look this up. And it's in like 2 or 3 weeks. Here we are. Trade deadline, week 11. So 2 weeks, I guess. I think that means we get to play weeks 10 and 11, and then after the Monday night of week 11, as soon as that game's over, no more trades. So you have through the Monday night game in week 11 to make a trade. So 2 weeks.
Gotcha. And then it'll open back up once the season is over.
Yeah, usually I wait till after the Super Bowl to restart the league. And I think at that time you can pick up free agents, but it costs you some fab. In the past, we used to let you just pick them up, but I thought you should have some skin if you wanted to pick somebody up in the off season. So, yeah, sometime after the Super Bowl, I restart the league. It goes live again. You'll get a notification, and we would start year number 4.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If not, don't say anything. But if you did like it, let us know. Thanks. How do we stop this?
You just click.